Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmer.
Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker, and we have got ourselves something here that is a little bit special. We've moved Big Canucker Studios out into my yacht in the middle of international waters. As you can see, there's the waves that are happening here with this, and you'll see exactly why we decided to go into international waters here. Because let's have a look at this. This thing happens to be a super fantastic, kind of a rare bird for me. See, claw bird, how you like that? This here happens to be quite rare as well. My friend Elton, he built this for me, and he makes a lot of these beads and stuff like that. He made this one here for me too as well. Here, the Deadpool. Man, oh man, I'll have to ask him if I can put his Facebook page in my description, because you know what, he does a lot of business, but he just doesn't want to go like super crazy and like, oh, it's like 500 orders or something. Not that, you know, from my video he's gonna get 500 orders, but you just never know. And it's just a fantastic little bead he sent me in the last time we did a little bit of a trade, a little horse trading. And I gotta say thank you so much, Elton. I appreciate it so much. So we'll put that aside here. And here what we have here, one of the most satisfying things in the entire world. This sound, oh, I love that. Happens to be the Microsoft, man oh man, how many times am I going to do that this video? Microtech Marphone Stitch-A. The Microtech Stitch-A, it is fantastic. I absolutely love this knife, and it fires like, I mean, like it just hammers out. This thing has got whatever the spring inside there, it is super strong. And then of course, you know, just came with the Microtech regular packaging, and I was going to find out, this was inspected by I think an employee called Squiggly, Mr. Squiggly, because it's been a few Microtechs that I've had that have been all inspected by Mr. Squiggly. So I just noticed that. I'm not sure if the guy just signs so much, he just does little squiggles, or if he's like me and he's got the penmanship of a drunken 6-year-old. All right, so let's kind of do that one more time, just because it's so damn fun. Boom! This thing flies out. Absolutely flies out. All right, let's have a quick look at kind of some of the specs on this. This happens to have a blade length of 3.625 inches, cutting edge of 3.05. The handle is 5 inches for a total overall length of 8.5 inches. The blade thickness is 0.19, which is 4.8 mil, this is a thick piece of M390 steel. It's got the apocalyptic finish on it. Now the handle here happens to be, was it 6061 T6 aluminum grade, aluminum alloy. It is aircraft grade aluminum. It is one of the toughest aluminum alloys in the entire world. I was doing some reading on it, and there was some stuff that I didn't completely understand, but one of the things I did understand is they said that they use it in aircraft wings and fuselages, and I think the frame of the Audi A8. So it's got to have some strength if it's going to be in that for sure. And whatever the spring that they have in here was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's got another aluminum backspacer here with kind of a gear pattern. Now they say they've got a mil-spec anodization on here, so it's extremely tough. It's a black anodization, and they've got a milled pattern into it that gives you all sorts of grip. It is a spear point with multiple grinds on it. The handle thickness itself is 0.62 millimeters. It only comes in a right-hand tip-up carry configuration. You can't move that around. And of course, you've got the Microtech on the pocket clip, and as well here you've got the Microtech billboarding with the serial number and the model number and stuff like that, and the fact that it's got the M390 steel, it's a maker's mark, and then on this side you've got nothing. You know what? And that's the one thing I kind of don't know how I feel about this billboarding like that. You know, I could see that having a little maker's mark. It would be nice to see it kind of over here a little bit, because this is just such a beautiful knife that when you just look at it on its own, it's fantastic. And then when you kind of look at it this side, it just seems to kind of take away from it just a little bit. Now, it's a little bit heavy in 6.3 ounces, so you know that it's in your pocket for sure. Now, I had the regular manual opening stitch here not too long ago, and I ended up sending that down the road just because I had to make room for it. So I did a little bit of horse trading, and the fella said, "Hey, do you want to trade these couple of knives for your for this automatic stitch?" And I said, "Heck yeah!" Even though I'm never going to actually take this and take it outside of the house, it's kind of more or less just to have, and it's just kind of to be kind of a Save Queen collection. Just because, you know what, there's a little bit of a gray area here if you're talking about owning this in Canada. That's why we're in international waters right now. So, this thing here is extremely beefy too as well. I mean, it's got a great feel to it. The ergonomics on this knife are absolutely superb. And I'm going to say they're quite a bit better than the manual. And that owing to the fact that you've got this big choil here. Now, you've got a choil in the other one, but this one just seems with the jimping on here, doesn't seem to be as kind of sharp as the manual. And plus you've got this real thumb ramp here too as well. And the two of them together give you a super, super locked in grip. The ergos on this are absolutely superb. You know, if you had the opportunity to use this as an everyday carry knife, I don't think you'd have any issue other than, I mean, if you're cutting through some cardboard and, you know, stuff like that, it gets a little bit thick and it, you know, kind of splits it a little bit. But if you're doing, you know, just some heavy duty work with this, I mean, I would have no problems putting this through a car door. No problems, due to the fact that it's got just like a nice lot of tip to it, and it's just such a big, beefy, everyday carry knife. And the fact that, you know, you've got stuff like here, the pivot here is a T20. All your rest of your hardware is T8, including the clip here is T8 too as well. It holds in pocket really, really well. I mean, this clip here, just the way they've got it kind of designed, it goes in and out of the pocket very well. The retention is excellent. You know, it owing to it being kind of a heavy knife, if you're doing some gymnastics with this in your pocket, I don't think you have any issue of it kind of coming out. But it's also not going to be a completely, like, you know, pants ripper, because you've got it underneath here. It doesn't really look like you have any kind of a design under there. So when you have your clip on just straight flat handle, it goes in and out a lot better, and it doesn't rip the pockets like a lot of knives do. Especially, there's lots of Spydercos that do that. And early on in my career of collecting knives and Spydercos, I used to take the clips off, and I used to take a piece of sandpaper, and right where the clip met, I'd do a little bit of a smooth out there just to get rid of that real heavy jimping or that heavy texture, so it didn't rip the heck out of my pockets. And it didn't, and this one doesn't as well. I would have no fear of this kind of being in and out of a nice pair of jeans, no problem. Oh, I love this. You can see it's got such a big beefy stop pin on it. This looks like it's a little bit one of an older one. They've gone to a little bit different design. Rather than having the kind of the striped kind of stop pin, they've gone to just a complete flat. I don't know why the reasoning is that. Maybe just one less piece of machining, but this one here definitely has it. Another thing too as well, just in case you are have got one of these and it's not firing like it should, it may not necessarily be the fact that your spring is kind of weak inside there or anything like that. And maybe that you have your pivot cranked down a little too high. And this is a little bit of a test to do, is if you take your knife and you put the fire pin, they call it the kill switch, by the way, on the Microtech website, the kill switch, or in the manual. If you take your finger and you put it down on the kill switch, and you kind of take your blade and you kind of let it go about halfway, if it snaps back into the stop pin like that, you know you've got your pivot done well. Now, sometimes if it's too tight, you let it go and it'll stop like that, or it'll stop before it completely fires. Then you know that your pivot is just a little bit too tight. This thing, if you're not expecting this, the way it fires, it can come out of your hand and be on the floor in a second. So just for you folks out there, for you 9-year-old little girls who the first time you're firing an automatic stitch, grab a hold of it and make sure you don't let it go, because it'll hit your toes like nobody's business. And this is sharp and pointy, and damn, that would hurt if it went to the top of your foot. Well, you know what? Let's have a quick side-by-side comparison to what I'm carrying today. I'm carrying the Spyderco Drunken, and you can see that it is a big knife. Because this drunken here is, got over a 3.5 inch blade. This is a big knife. So if you're going to carry this in your pocket and you're going to be at a restaurant, I think you're going to have people look at you if you pull this out to cut a thread off your napkin, because it makes a heck of a noise. You're going to have people, rubberneckers, looking, and they're going to say, "Oh my goodness, you've got a murder tool in your hand," and you say, "No, I'm just cutting a thread on my napkin, folks, or I'm just cutting my dinner bun." Well, we'll see how well that goes over. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed having a look at this. I have really enjoyed showing it to you. I hope you guys didn't get too seasick being in international waters on my yacht. So please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice. Keep the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.